Hey, welcome to the Con Club Survival Guide. If you clicked on this video, you're either a brand new player looking to survive your first week, or you're a veteran player, like me, looking for additional information. Either way, sit back, relax, and let me guide you through how to survive your first week in Project Zomboid. Before we start this video, I want to add a general disclaimer. All recommendations in this series are under the assumption that you're not using any mods, and that you're using the default apocalypse settings for the game. While this guide will still apply to modded playthroughs, I cannot recommend strategies for every possible mod that you might add. Now, before we hit that spawn location that I know you already ignored, we have to make our character. Making your first character is quite a difficult choice. You can fling yourself into a world with a blank or random character to get started, but I'm going to help you make the most optimal starting character you can. First, we need to talk about trait points. When you start off on this screen, you'll see that you have 8 points in the bottom right of your screen. These are your trait points, and determine what skills your character can have. Before you start the game, you need to get this number to 0 by selecting traits and picking a profession if you want one. Talking about professions, there are many good ones and bad ones, but today I'm going to present you with one of 3 options to choose from. First up, we have an option for those of you who love combat. The lumberjack profession has a lot to offer in terms of starting abilities and potential. As a lumberjack, you gain +1 to your strength stat, meaning you'll be able to carry more and push zombies down with ease. Lumberjacks gain 2 levels in axes and 1 point in maintenance, meaning that you'll be able to kill zombies faster with axes, and they'll have better durability while in your hands. Lumberjacks also gain the axe perk skill, a skill that gives you a 50% damage bonus to trees. And you gain a lot less muscle fatigue from using them to cut down trees. Lumberjacks also have a hidden mechanic that gives them a 33% decreased chance to be injured while moving through dense foliage, like trees. Also, while in the forest, you have a higher chance to find firewood while foraging. Our second option is for those of you who want to build a base up quickly, and don't mind paying a few extra points to do so. The engineer is an amazing choice, giving the player +1 to electrical, carpentry, and masonry. While those alone are not great for base building, the fact that the engineer also starts out with generator knowledge and has a diverse library of skills means you can keep the lights on and the water running when both of those turn off. Being able to make explosives right off the bat as well is an amazing plus, meaning those dense situations can now be cleared with just a couple firebombs made by you. Be careful, however, as many players make the mistake of leading a burning zombie back into their base. With the engineer taking 12 points, I recommend offsetting this with the conspicuous trait, as this trait will lightly dampen your playthrough versus the value in points that it provides. Our final option is to not pick a profession at all, and instead use the 8 points that the unemployed trait gives. This will allow you to gain traits you otherwise can't obtain through playtime. My personal recommendations for good traits with any profession are as follows. The dexterity trait. This trait allows you to move items in and out of your inventory 50% faster. This is basically an essential trait for me, as looting and organization feels like a drag without it. The cat eyes trait. This trait allows you to see 20% better in the dark and makes your foraging a bit better. 20% doesn't sound like a lot, but trust me, it's helpful once those lights go out. The thick skin trait. This trait gives you a 15% additional chance of not being injured by a zombie attack. Well, you can also get this from weapon perks and armor. This 15% stacks on top of those other perks and skills. This is extremely helpful, as without thick skin, you essentially have a 15% higher chance of being bit by a zombie at any time. That's it for positive traits. Moving on to the negative ones, we have these traits. While taking no negative perks is obviously the desired outcome, taking these perks will have a minimal impact to your playthrough, while providing you with more points to use on traits. The short-sighted trait. This trait gives you a smaller view distance and reduces your foraging radius. This means your maximum zoom is reduced in-game, and your screen will look a little blurry. This is only a minimal change to the game, however, as this can be negated by wearing glasses. I usually look at this trait as a free 2 points, as long as you're willing to look a little nerdy. The conspicuous trait. Given my name, it's obviously one of my favorite traits. While hard to master at first, knowing the ways that zombies notice you in the game comes with playtime. The 200% chance to be noticed by zombies is irrelevant if you can mind your step and stay out of their radius. I look at this as a light debuff for a nice 4 juicy points to use on other traits. When you're done picking your profession and traits, remember to save your character so you can reuse your build. These are my recommendations for getting yourself a nice and simple to use character ready to fight off the undead. The last part of making your character is obviously your starter clothing and looks. While looks don't matter, the starting clothes do. Starting off with long jeans and a long sweatshirt will give you an early game boost to your defense against the zombies. Beware, however, as when the game starts in July, you'll work up a sweat from those bigger clothes. Don't forget to save your character so you can start out looking the same each time. I hope you now feel confident in hitting play on your first character, or at least learn something new about the game you didn't know before. Thank you for watching the first episode of the Con Club Survival Guide. Did you like this video? Do you hate sponsorship reels? Me too. Each of these videos are supported by you guys over at Ko-Fi and Twitch. If you want to hear your name at the end of this video, you can do so by joining our supported club today. For just the price of a cup of coffee, you can help this channel grow. Thank you to all of these people for helping me make these videos ad-free. Happens Forever, Wonderful, Andrea, Sam, Phobos, Dewey, Lazarus, Noeo2, Moxie, Schnips, Tina, Issa Baguette, Onyx, Sydney, Jeremy Fireball, Nurin, The Lazy Plague, Ender, Dialtone, Renee Ragdoll, Oxaplume, Hiatus Roll, Derog, Thirstyall, and Brownie Bits. Thanks again to everyone who made it to this part in the video. Feel free to check out the links in the description. Who knows? I might be live when you watch this. Till next time, survivors, good luck out there.